Yo, what's going on guys, Camille here, and I'm back with another Genshin Impact meta tier list. Yes, the game is struggling with content right now, I can't find any videos to make, so yeah, let's do a tier list. I decided it was a bad idea when I did one last year. The comments were just a madness back then. It's literally you cannot win on tier lists. There are always gonna be like some people complaining why do you put this in here or why you put that in here. If you do put it on that place, then other people are gonna complain on other things and stuff like that. So yeah, this ranking is relative. Every character is gonna be able to be used in some cases. Play the characters who you want. I'm not disrespecting any characters. This is my opinion. No character absolutely sucks. There are always gonna be some uses for some characters. And yeah, you know the deal. All of these PR things I'm gonna say here, but I already know they're not really gonna matter. This video is gonna be dislikes anyways. So yeah, CBA, I'm not even gonna keep reminding you of that. Let's just start the video. Alright, so before we start ranking characters, let's start explaining tiers. So the first thing is we have the broken tier. On this tier, we're gonna need a character who gives a lot of value for teams, and I mean a lot, like he's gonna change teams. Wherever you put him, he's gonna change the team to the better. He also needs to work in a lot of teams, and also be irreplaceable in a lot of teams. For example, if he's a support, he's gotta be the best support for a lot of teams. Not just usable in a lot of teams, but also like one of the best supports that you can use in a lot of teams. In other means, he needs to be flexible and good. Also, all of this needs to be relative to the cost, because a lot of people say, oh, I know like C6, this character, if you build him right, he's gonna be doing a lot of damage, or he's gonna be a good support, this and that. No shit. If you invest in him so much, obviously he's gonna be broken. But yeah, we're considering cost as a factor too. We have the very good tier. This tier is pretty much the same as broken almost. It's for characters who are very good and can also be used in a lot of teams. Maybe less than broken, but they're also like very good and can be used in a lot of teams. They're not really like quite broken. They have some weaknesses, but they're still very good and very flexible. The good section is that pretty much for characters who have nothing special. They don't really suck, but they're not like too good to be on very good. They have like an average flexibility. They have some teams they work on and some teams where they don't. And they have like average strength, you can say. We have the below average or niche. This is for characters who either have like less value in general, like they don't really provide that much value to the team, or they're like very, very niche. They have like a couple of teams that they work in and that's it. But keep in mind, all of these characters in the below average or niche are still like usable. They still have like some instances or some teams where they are the meta. So they're not a lot, but they have moments where they can shine. Now finally, you have the don't use tier. This tier is basically just characters who you have like no reason to use. There are always gonna be like one character that are gonna do their job better at any team. You're gonna struggle to find any actual use of these characters. So unless you like them and you'd want to play them, you should probably not use them on your teams. They have like no actual value on their own. Obviously, they're gonna provide value on your team, but the thing is, they're pretty much almost gonna be like replaceable. You can replace them with like a lot of characters who can do their job and a lot more things. And maybe even characters who are less expensive than them. Again, I repeat, all of these tiers are relative to the cost. So if a character is like pretty average but he's very inexpensive, that's gonna push him up a little bit. But if a character is like very good but he's very expensive to build, that's gonna push him down a little bit, and so on. And this tier list is gonna be obviously for the current 2.6 meta right now, for the hard content like the Abyss or events and stuff like that. So yeah, let's begin with ranking characters. Alright, so first of all, we have Aether, the Traveler. They only put 2 in here, but we have 3 Travelers, you can say, but whatever. So, we're gonna consider that Aether is gonna be the Geo and the Anemo Traveler, and then Lumine is gonna be the Electro Traveler. So yeah, keep that in mind. So for the Geo and Anemo Traveler, I'm gonna say is that a don't use section. It can only be used as like a sub DPS, you can say, both for the Geo and Anemo Traveler, and there are a lot of other characters who can easily replace them. So yeah, there's basically no teams that actually need the Geo or the Anemo Traveler, and that's the definition of don't use. So yeah, Geo Traveler, Anemo Traveler, I'm sorry, but they're at don't use. Alright, so moving on to Albedo, I'm gonna try to be quick. I'm not really gonna like keep explaining every single character. We have a lot, as you guys can see here, so I'm gonna try to be quick. So for Albedo, he's gonna be a very good sub DPS and support. He's very, very flexible, and he can work on pretty much any team on the game. So on that thing, he's a broken material, but the thing is, he's not really gonna be providing a lot of value on like most of the teams. So yes, he's gonna be working on a lot of teams, but he's not like gonna be changing these teams. Yes, he's gonna be giving some extra damage, elemental mastery, but that's it. He's not like necessary to use or anything like that on any of these teams. So for that reason, I'm not gonna put him at broken. He's gonna be at the very good section. Next, we have Amber. I'm not even gonna talk too much about Amber. Let's not bash Amber, but yeah, she's at don't use. She's lower than the Traveler, I would say, so yeah, I'll keep Amber in here. I mean, you're gonna struggle to find any actual uses for Amber, so she's definitely at the don't use tier. Next, we have Ayaka, very good DPS, one of the best DPSs in the game actually. She's Cryo, which is one of the meta elements right now. I would say Ayaka is simply at the broken section. There are not really many DPSs who can do better than Ayaka right now. She's definitely one of the best in the game, and if you don't have a Cryo DPS, then I would say Ayaka is definitely a must have. She's also sort of free to play friendly, so that's also pretty good. Ayaka is definitely broken material. Next, we have Barbara. So before I would have put Barbara at like the don't use or the below average section, but right now healers generally gain some value in the game. Not really so much, but it's definitely better than before. She's also Hydro, which is the meta right now, so yeah, I'd put Barbara in the good section. She has a lot of weaknesses, but she's definitely still very usable. Next, we have Beidou. Very good sub DPS. She has a couple of meta teams. She also does good damage. I wouldn't say there's anything really special about Beidou, so I wouldn't really put her at very good. I'd say she's good. Definitely better than Barbara, so yeah, good is suitable for Beidou in my opinion. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like when I put a character like this, for example, Beidou is better than Barbara. Like the first one is the best at the tier. Next thing, we have Benny Boy. Definitely one of the best supports in the game, if not the best. He's still like that. It was like that since day one, and yeah, he's still one of the best supports in the game. Definitely at the broken section. I'd say he's more broken than Ayaka generally. So yeah, Benny Boy is broken. Next thing we have is Chong Yun. So he's a cryo support and kind of like sub DPS. There are some teams that are gonna require him, like for example cryo DPS Kea or something like that. He definitely has value, but I would say it's pretty niche. In the teams where he works, he's gonna be like very good or maybe even necessary. But generally speaking, I wouldn't say he's good. Like he's very unflexible. He cannot really be used on like most of the teams. So yeah, I'd put Chong Yun on the below average / niche tier. Next thing we have D-Luke. So before D-Luke was broken, like at 1.1, 1.0 or something like that, but right now I would say he definitely lost value. There are a lot of characters that came out who are stronger than D-Luke. He's also Pyro, which is not really like the meta right now. So yeah, I'd say D-Luke is at the good section, definitely the best one at the good section, but I wouldn't really put him at very good right now. Next thing we have is Diona. She's a cryo support / healer. Definitely one of the best supports in the game. She's also very free to play friendly, easy to build, and a 4-star, easy to get, so she has pretty low cost. She's also very flexible. She can be used at most teams. So yeah, I would say she's definitely a very good support. I'd put her in here, probably less value than Albedo, but she's still very good. Now we have Fischl. So she's a sub DPS, maybe even DPS or support. She's a great battery too, so yeah, she's pretty good. I'd say I'd definitely put Fischl at the very good section. She's better than like an average character, especially for 4 stars, so I'd put her around here between Diona and Albedo. Alright, so we have Ganyu. I mean, there's not really much to talk about in here. She's definitely the best DPS in the game still. Definitely broken. Let's not talk too much about Ganyu and gas her up. I'd say she's definitely more broken than Bennett. I mean, she can be used at like solo, literally. If you have a well-built Ganyu, you can just use her solo and you're gonna be doing great damage. So yeah, Ganyu is definitely, in my opinion, the most broken character in the game. Next thing, we have Hu Tao. So this is the reason why I got some hate the last tier list I did. It was like a year ago. I put Hu Tao at the very good section. I didn't put her at broken. And I said it's because like she was kind of expensive. You needed her C1 and stuff like that. And she was not really easy to use. I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, I put her at the very good section. And yeah, people just flamed me for that. And I mean, honestly, looking at it, yeah, she's definitely broken. These are not really like disadvantages that I just listed. I know her team teams are kind of like restricted. Also, she's very clunky at C0, you can say, but generally speaking, for her main role, she's a DPS, and she does that pretty well. Actually, she does that better than most DPS in the game. So yeah, she's definitely worth being at the broken section. I'd put her last, but she's definitely still broken. Next thing we have is Jean. So Jean is generally a support. I wouldn't say her DPS role is very like important. You should probably not use her as a physical DPS. That's not really a good idea. But yeah, support wise, she's definitely very good. Great healer, great sub DPS, great at anything. I'd put her at the very good section. I'd say she's last, but she's definitely still very good. You know what? Actually, I'd put her above Diona. This is better. Now moving on to Kea. Decent DPS, great cryo enabler. He's also free to play, so yeah, he's definitely good. I'd put him at the good section. I'd say he's gonna be less than D-Luke. That's probably right. Yeah, so I would say this is about right. There's nothing really special about him to put him at very good, but he's definitely not below average. So yeah, Kea is good. Next character we have is Keqing. So for Keqing, she's like a special case, you can say. She definitely does more damage than a lot of characters or DPSs in the game, but the thing is, she's a 5-star. And for a 5-star, I would say honestly, she's not really that good compared to other 5-stars. She's definitely not bad, but for a 5-star, she's definitely not too good. I'd say she's pretty average generally as a character. So yeah, I'd put her at the good section. Because she's a 5-star, I'd put her lower than Beidou, and I think this is right. If she was a 4-star, she'd definitely be around like here, but for a 5-star, here is probably the best place. Next up, we have Klee. She's just a Pyro main DPS. She does decent damage. Again, right now, Pyro is kind of losing value. Before, I would have put Klee at the very good section, but right now, I'd say she definitely lost some value. So I'd put her at the good section. Actually, she's better than D-Luke, so yeah, I'd put her the first one in the good section. Next up, we have Lisa. So Lisa can be used as like a sub DPS or main DPS support. She got a weapon recently that kind of like boosted her, but she's still not really that good in my opinion. She definitely has uses. There are like instances where you can use Lisa and she's gonna be pretty good, but generally speaking, she's definitely not good enough, I would say. So I'd put her at the below average / niche section. She's definitely not on the don't use section because you can use her. She has some uses at least, but she's still not good enough. Next thing we have, as I said, this is the Electro Traveler. This one was the Geo / Nemo, and this one is gonna be Electro. So for the Electro Traveler, again, it's pretty much the same thing as Lisa. He has some uses, especially if you don't have like Raiden or something like that. He can be used in some cases, but he's definitely still below average. So yeah, I think around here is gonna be suitable for the Geo Traveler or the Electro Traveler, sorry. Next up, we have Mona. Great sub DPS, one of the best actually. Without talking too much, I'd put Mona at the very good section, probably around here between Jean and Fischl. She's a 5-star, but she definitely does a lot of damage. Also, Hydro again is the kind of like the meta right now, so I'd say Mona is pretty good right now. She's definitely one of the best. You know what? I'd put her above Fischl. Yeah, that's probably right. Next thing we have is gonna be Ningguang. She's just a DPS, a Geo DPS. I'd say she's pretty great. Maybe you're gonna need some of her constellations for her to be like usable in my opinion, especially C1 is kind of necessary, but generally speaking, I'd say she's very good. Pretty average, there's nothing really special, but she's not bad. I'd put her, yeah, probably down here, yeah, or less than Keqing. Next up, we have Noelle. So Noelle is definitely still like a special case. She scales incredibly well with constellations. But the thing is, not everyone's able to get constellations and she needs quite a lot of. So if you have like C1, C2 Noelle, she's definitely not really gonna be that good. I'd say she's gonna be below average. But like C6 Noelle, she's gonna be up here. So we're gonna put her at like the good section in my opinion. Probably better than Kea generally. Maybe up here, or yeah, I'd say this is about right. If she was C6, it's gonna be up here, but for like C0 to C5, she's gonna be down here. And again, cost is gonna be a factor. Not everyone's gonna be able to get C6, so I'd say here is gonna be pretty good for Noelle. Qiqi. So Qiqi is gonna be a healer, a cryo healer. That's about it for her uses, honestly. She can be used as a DPS, but like just don't. Honestly, for a 5-star, I'm gonna put her at the below average section. Probably up here, yeah, above Lisa. She has some uses and she can be used in some instances, especially because healers gain some value right now. But in my opinion, she's definitely still below average. Again, especially for a 5-star. For a 4-star, she might have been like up here, but for a 5-star, 5-star, yeah, I'd say below average / niche is gonna be suitable. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Chi-Chi is being thrown at everyone. She's one of the characters you can get when losing the 50-50, so I'd say Chi-Chi is like quite accessible. But obviously not everyone's gonna have her, but she's quite accessible more than like other 5-stars, I would say. So I'd move Chi-Chi up to the good section. I'd put her last in here. She's the worst one, but I'd say good is probably right for Chi-Chi, especially because, as I said, healers are kind of important right now. So I did main Razor before he was my second DPS, but right now I'd say honestly he doesn't cut it in most of the cases. He's just a physical main DPS. I mean, he's still like pretty decent and good. He's also kind of like free to play friendly, but at C0, C1, C2, he's definitely not the best one you can use right now, especially because there are other like free to play characters that are gonna be like straight up better than him. So yeah, I'd say Razor kind of fell off. I'd put him at the good section. He's definitely still good. Worse than Kaching, but yeah, I'd put him at the bottom of the good section. Sucrose, a very good support / sub DPS, cheap to build, free to play friendly, and very useful. I'd say she's very good. I'd put her above Diona in here. She's definitely worth being very good. Next up, we have Child, Hydro main DPS / sub DPS if you want to. I'd put him at the very good section too, probably above Fischl right here. I think this is pretty suitable for Child. Back then he would have been lower, but as I said, Hydro is the meta right now, so this is more suitable. Venti, before he was broken, right now I'd say he's more at the very good section. He lost some value, I explained it before, but like most harder content right now don't have like that many small enemies. You have like 1 or 2 big enemies and that's it. So his main feature is gonna be crowd control and he's gonna lose that, so he's gonna lose a lot of his value. But with that being said, he's still definitely a very good support, a very good battery. He's also a Nemo, so you can use the Viridescent. So yeah, definitely still a very good support. I'd put him in here at the very good section. Xiangling, one of the best DPSs / pyro enablers / sub DPSs, hyper carries right now. On top of that, she's free to play and free to play friendly. I'd say Xiangling is definitely at the broken section. I'd put her last, but she's definitely broken right now. Wait, hold on, what's Albedo doing here? Albedo is gonna be more around like here, I would say. Yeah, that's more suitable. Alright, so next up we have Zhao. This is one of the biggest reasons I got hate on my last tier list. I did put Zhao at the broken section above Hu Tao, but yeah, a lot of people did not like this. So for Zhao, right now I would say he's honestly very good. Like compared to other characters, he's definitely not broken, but I was biased, yes. So this time I want to put him at broken, but yeah, he's not really broke. I'd say he's very good, probably the top one, yes, the top one at very good. Again, like I've been maining Zhao for a long time now, so yeah, I'm definitely a little bit biased, but I think very good, the top of very good is definitely suitable for Zhao. Like come on now, what, you want him lower than that? No, that's not gonna happen. So yeah, he's definitely the top of very good. Xingqiu, the best Hydro enabler in the game, best Hydro applier, great sub DPS. I put him at the broken section, probably above Xiangling in my opinion. So yeah, I think this is suitable for Xingqiu. You know what? I'd put him, yeah, that's more the place for Xingqiu. I think he's more broken than Ayaka and Hu Tao, mainly because he's way more flexible. Next up, we have Xinyan. So I like Xinyan and I try to defend her as much as I can, but honestly right now, yeah, she's definitely at the don't use section. I mean, I really struggle to find any teams where Xinyan is needed. She provides a shield, she wants to be a physical main DPS, she also does pyro, she doesn't do like cryo or electro, so if you want to play her physical, you're gonna need a electro and a cryo enabler for superconduct. Also, the shield is not consistent, you're gonna have to hit enemies and stuff like that. She's also pyro, so she's not really gonna work on a lot of teams. If you want to build her for damage, then you're confused. Do you want to build her physical or pyro? She has a lot of problems. So yeah, pretty much always you're gonna find like a character who are gonna be better than Xinyan on any team. So right now it hurts me, but I'd say Xinyan is definitely at the don't use section. Wait, hold on, she's definitely better than Amber, but she's still at the don't use section. Next up, we have Zhongli. Yeah, still one of the best supports in the game, great shielder / sub DPS. He also gives you the resistance shred, so he's definitely broken. Very flexible. I'd put him around here. Next up, we have Rosaria. Great cryo enabler slash sub DPS slash support. Kind of like limited on teams though, so I'd put her at the good section. Probably above Gaia. Next up, we have Eula. One of the best DPSs in the game. I'd say she's very good without talking too much, so I'd put her above Albedo in here. Yanfei, a pyro main DPS. I think she's kind of like under the radar a little bit. Not many people play her or talk about her, but she's definitely still good. I'd put her at the lower good though, probably less than Razor in here, but she's definitely still good. She's kind of niche too, but for a main DPS, you're gonna expect that. Alright, right now we have Kazuha. He's definitely top like 3 supports in the game right now. And in Nemo support, resistance shred, elemental mastery, crowd control, a lot of things. He's definitely broken. I'd put him above Zhongli in my opinion. Especially for elemental teams, he's definitely gonna be one of the best supports. Next up we have Yoimiya. I think a lot of people were kind of like disappointed with her, but she's definitely still very good. She's better than average for a DPS, even for a 5-star DPS. I'd put her in here above Jean. I think she still has very great value. She's getting like slight buffs every time, like with Yunjin, with Ayato, a lot of like kind of slight buffs. And yeah, she's still a very good DPS overall in my opinion. She definitely could be better with like the internal cooldowns and stuff like that, but yeah, she's not bad. Next up, we have Sayu. I really like her playstyle, it's like pretty fun, but meta-wise, I'd say she's below average slash niche. I'd put her above Lisa, or maybe in here not. She has some uses or some teams that she can work on, but it's very rare where Sayu is needed on a team. She also takes a lot of like field on time, which is not really good, but she's still like kind of free to play friendly. She does provide some value too, so I wouldn't put her at the don't use. I think below average is suitable for Sayu. Next up we have Wagwan. What is this? I don't even know what is this, so we're just gonna put it up here. Next up we have Raiden Shogun. Okay, so I think this is probably one of the controversial things I'm gonna say on this video. A lot of people would put Raiden Shogun at the broken section, which she should be. She's an Archon, but in my opinion, I'm not really sure. I don't know about that. But my problem with Raiden is flexibility. You see other Archons like Venti or Zhongli, they can be used with a lot of characters. With Raiden Shogun, she's gonna need characters with a high burst energy cost. She's also Electro, which is not gonna work on all of the teams, which gonna limit her flexibility by a lot. She also needs like teams with downtimes, so you don't lose DPS. But basically, she needs a lot of things on her teams. She's not like the slap and play type of characters. If you compare that to like most of the broken characters in here, most of them are going to be usable on like most of the teams or a lot of teams for supports. And for main DPSs, they're going to be doing huge amounts of damage, like Ganyu for example, or Xiangling, or Hu Tao, Ayaka, and stuff like that. But with Raiden Shogun, her damage is like very good. It's not really like something broken, except for like speedruns with Kazuha and stuff like that. And her support is very not flexible. So in my opinion, I'd say Raiden Shogun is very good. I'd put her at the top of the very good section, but I don't think she's broken. Maybe in the future or see MiHoYo kind of like tailoring characters for her a little bit. A lot of characters are coming out with like crazy expensive bursts, but for right now, I'd say Raiden is at the very good section. Wait, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna be more logical. She's better than Zhao, but she's still very good. Not broken. Next up, we have Sara. Electro support, I'd say she's kind of like on the below average slash niche section. Doesn't really have a lot of teams. She can work in some teams, but she's definitely not very flexible. So yeah, I'd put her above the Electro Traveler. Next up, we have Kokomi. So when she came out, I remember a lot of people were like frustrated with Kokomi. They were saying she's weak, unusable, stuff like that. And I mean, she had like the worst banner, I think, in terms of like sales for Genshin. But right now, I see a lot of people using her, how the tables turn. So yeah, as I said, that's mainly for the value of Hydra right now. And she's also a great healer, great sub DPS and stuff like that. I'd put Kokomi at the very good section, probably above Child right now. Next up, we have Aloy. So Aloy is kind of like under the radar. She came out for like PS4 players first, then they used her, but like a lot of people didn't get her, so not many people were talking about her. And then by the time the rest of the players got her, PS4 players already like got tired of her, so like half of the community started talking and the other half just kind of went quiet. So yeah, I think Aloy just kind of went under the radar a little bit right now. I feel like everyone kind of like forgot about Aloy, but yeah, she's a decent DPS. I'd put her at the good section, probably around Yanfei in here. Definitely not very good, but she's not bad. Next up we have Thoma, a pyro support slash main DPS slash pyro enabler, you can say, kind of, but he's not really very reliable. He can work on some teams, but generally he's not that good, so I'd put him at the below average slash niche section, probably below the Electro Traveler. Next up we have Ito, great Geo DPS, there's not really much to talk about. He does great amounts of damage, so yeah, I'd put him at the very good section. I'd put him in here. Next up we have, he's a Geo support slash sub DPS maybe, but in my opinion is pretty niche. He does provide a lot of value for the teams he works in, but he's very niche. So yeah, I'd put him about here. Next up we have Shinha, cryo sub DPS slash support. She's very niche. She only works on cryo teams, which is like, that's gonna eliminate most of the teams on the game. I'm honestly struggling whether I'd put her on like the below average slash niche or the good section, because at the teams she works in, she's definitely gonna provide a lot of value, but the thing is she doesn't work on a lot of teams. So yeah, I think, you know what, I'd put her at the top of the below average slash niche. When she works, she's gonna provide great value, but the thing is she's not gonna work on a lot of time. Maybe here, but yeah, I think here is more suitable. Yunjin, great character for like characters who does damage with their auto attacks. She's also kind of niche in my opinion. You're gonna need a character who does damage with their auto attacks. You're also gonna need a team for different elements, which is kind of niche. I'd put her at the below average slash niche section. Probably around above Xiangyu, because there are a lot of characters who does damage with their auto attacks, so she has like kind of a wide range, but she's still niche. Next up, we have Yai Miko. So she's just a Electro sub DPS, a great Electro sub DPS actually. She does a lot of damage. She's also a great Electro enabler if you need one. But the thing is, her best teams are very limited, and for a 5-star, she's kind of expensive. So I wouldn't put her at the very good section. I'd put her at the good section, probably. I'm not really sure. I'd put her in here. I wouldn't really say she's worth being very good. Also because of her energy problems, she's kinda more on the good side. Alright, so finally we have Ayato. He just came out. Great Hydro DPS slash support maybe. I'd say he's at the very good section. Probably above Child or less, around here. Maybe around here, I think that's more suitable for Ayato. Definitely still a very good character, and I mean, it's kind of early to judge, but for right now, I'd say here is pretty suitable for Ayato. Again, I'm not really sure what that is, but yeah. So yeah, this is the final tier list. Let's see if we can make some adjustments. I think that's about right. Yeah, I think that's right. So yeah, I think this is my meta tier list for Genshin Impact 2.6. If you don't agree with this, which I'm sure a lot of people are not gonna agree with this, I don't really see any mistakes in this, but yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna be like, this is the weirdest tier list I've ever seen. How can you do this? Stuff like that. So yeah, I guess just tell me in the comments. Remember, every character is gonna have a use. If you like a character, just play him. Don't care about meta, stuff like that. I'm just saying this for the PR, but I know this video is already being disliked. But yeah, fuck it, I don't really care. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see y'all in the next video. Peace.